Hey everybody, it's Jenny, and I am back for another week in my memory planner. This one is actually from 2022, and there are a handful of weeks I need to finish up. So I've pulled out a few supplies for a beautiful yet simple memory planner layout. I am going to be using the Stampers Anonymous. These are the sketchy leaves, and they're so pretty. And then also this Simple Stories alphabet sticker book. I think it is boho something or rather. Anyway, the colors are just exciting, and I really wanted to use that as my color palette for this week. This is a week in November, and so it makes sense to have sort of this dusty rose, which is the Distress Oxide Tattered Rose, Wild Honey, and Bundled Sage. And then I'm also going to use the Stamp Market Rusty, which is one of my favorite ink pads, and I use it every chance that I get. I just absolutely love this color. So I have 8 photos on my 4x6 print. They are approximately 1.5 by 2 inches, and I use the Epson PictureMate to print the photos. I will link it up below. It's great because even if your Wi-Fi is spotty, you can use a direct printing option, which I used to have some Wi-Fi issues in the office, and so this was wonderful for that. And then I use the PicFrame app to create the collages. I like to start with my photos. That is, for me, the most important part of the week, although you should figure out which part is the most important for you. I like to try and keep the photos on the day that they happened. However, certain things, it makes no difference to me. Pets, pictures of my house, things like that. So for example, you can see there's a couple different things. There's a picture of my cat, there's a picture of my dog, and there's a picture of some Christmas decor. It doesn't really matter to me which day of the week I would put those on, just as long as I get them in the week. Now there's another picture of my son voting for the very first time, and I would like to keep that on the day that it happened. It's a fairly significant event, and it feels really good to have that, to me, on the day that it happened. Now this is the Sketchy Leaves stamp pad, or stamp set, I'm sorry, and it is so cute. Do you see it? I absolutely love it, and I cannot wait to use it. So now that I've got my photos down, I'm going to use this. This stamp is so big. So that's a 3x4 stamp block, and it was just not quite big enough. So I pulled out the 4x6 that I almost never use because I rarely use stamps this big, but it looks great. I absolutely love it, and I am going to add the ink to it. For this particular stamp, I'm going to use the Rusty ink pad. Like I said already, this is from the Stamp Market. It is a dye ink, and I absolutely love it so much. It's such a beautiful color, if you ask me. All right, so now we've got that down in that corner, and it looks amazing. I let it, kind of off the edge of the paper ever so slightly. To me, it just sort of looks like it's falling from the trees, and it looks spectacular. Now I am going to use this stamp a couple of different ways, and so I want to create a little mask for it. So I'm inking it up, and I'm going to stamp it on a sticky note, and I'm going to try to keep a large portion of it near the actual sticky part of the sticky note. I'm going to dry that off because if you've worked with Distress Oxides before, you know that they're very, very juicy and have lots of ink. So I want to get a lot of that dry before I then cut it out. I am not being really super serious about getting every little nook and cranny. I just want to do it for the most part, get the overall shape, some of the little elements. That works great for me. Now I'm going to also use it with that leaf up there already. Doesn't that look magnificent? And I want to layer them together. So I'm going to do this a couple of different times and a couple of different ways. So for example, you can see I'm going to use the stamp right down here at the bottom and use the Bundled Sage. Isn't that beautiful? And then I'm just cleaning off my desk because I got some ink on the desk, which is no big deal. Now I'm going to clean the stamp real quickly and then put my mask over where I stamped. Okay, so you see the mask now and not where I stamped on the page. And I'm going to ink it up again, and this time I'm using the Wild Honey, and I'm just going to stamp. So this way it can make them look like they're overlapping, but any Wild Honey ink went on that mask and not where I stamped. I like to use the Ranger stamp cleaning spray and then a microfiber cloth. These are just the same ones I use to clean my kitchen, and I just throw them in the wash with all the rest of my towels. This system works really great for me. I'm able to keep these right by my desk. I don't have to get up and get something else to clean off my stamps, and there's very little waste. All right, so now I'm going to do a little bit more masking, and you can see first I added a sticky note over my photo so that no ink got on the photo, and it looks like it's ever so slightly underneath my photo, which it's not because I did the photo first, right? And then now I'm going to use that other leaf that I showed you before, and after I cover the first one with the mask, I'm going to ink that up with the Tattered Rose. It's such a beautiful, creamy, muted pink. I love it. It's just a gorgeous color, and really honestly can be used for absolutely any season. It's so beautiful. And then I will remove the mask, and again, it looks like you can see that they're just all layered together. So now I have the three main points of my decorative visual triangle. I have all of my photos down, and now I'm going to use these alphabet stickers to write or to spell out a few of the things that happened this week. So my husband was in Portland for work, so I'm going to first use the stickers to spell out Portland across Monday. These are things that I like to keep track of. I could have absolutely just written this directly on the page. I could have used a box sticker. So many different ways to do the exact same thing. I just wanted it to stand out. It just was a week that didn't have a ton of I want to say a ton of exciting things going on, although I would argue that my son voting for the first time is kind of an exciting thing. So I guess I could have gone crazy with that, but instead I decided to, based on the placement of my photos and all of that, I decided to spell out Portland. And then I will do a similar thing on the right-hand side, and I will use the alphabet stickers, albeit a different color this time, to spell out no school on the other side because it was Veterans Day, and so my youngest son didn't have school. So I'm just going to use those sort of sagey green alphas to spell that out over there. Now, for example, these are not a perfect match with the ink that I used, and that does not bother me in the slightest bit. It feels more like they all complement each other and they go together versus they match perfectly. I'm not really concerned with perfection. Actually, I'm not concerned with perfection at all. If you've been here for a minute, you know that I feel like once the project is finished, it all comes together, it looks really nice, and it doesn't matter that it wasn't perfect. So I feel like perfection is overrated, and if in the messy middle of a project you don't love it, wait till it's finished and then reevaluate and see how you feel, because chances are you might feel differently when you're all finished. All right, so now I am just going ahead and adding all of the box stickers for the activities and the appointments and all of those things that I have going on during the week. There's just a whole lot of them, so might as well add those. I like to keep track of these things. This is why I started memory planning in 2016, is to record our life. It was busy, it was chaotic. I had 3 school-age kids that were all in sports, and so I knew that I would never ever be able to capture this busy time in our life again, and why not try in a memory planner with photos and keeping track of all of the things that we were doing. So I still do the same thing, and I only have one school-age son, as my oldest son works a career and he's graduated from college. My middle son is at a 4-year university, and my youngest son is a sophomore in high school. And so I feel like I will probably keep this up throughout my youngest son's high school career. And then I'm probably stop planning exactly like this and move into a slightly different format of memory planning. But for right now, I can't envision not memory planning since this is my favorite project that I do. I just love it. I get so much satisfaction out of the created or the end project and then actually creating too. So now you can see I've written in all of the activities, the plans, all of those things, and then I am going to go back and add a few other little things, which include I had a book club, so I'm going to use the stickers to spell out book club. I use the stickers to fill out vote. So yeah, we've got that now. And I will add the dates to the top. And this pink color that I'm using, it matches so well with the Tattered Rose Distress Oxide ink. I don't know how that managed to come together so beautifully, but they really look amazing together. Now, what I'm missing is some journaling. Now, obviously, I could have done a lot more stamping and I could have added a lot more decoration, but if you'll recall, this is a page from 2022, so I'm a year behind. And I'd like to just finish it. I'd like to finish it. I'd like to move on. I'd like to put it in my memory planner and have this one complete. So I am A-okay with keeping things simple. And I remember a lot about some of these photos, but I don't remember the week specifically or the overall feeling from the week. So there's that. I'm not going to include that in this journaling. So I feel like it is A-okay to go ahead and keep it simple and finish the week off. As usual, I'm creating lines for my journaling. I'm using the mild liners to create the lines and then using my Sharpie pen to write the journaling. If you've not used a Sharpie pen, but you like a felt tip pen, so like a Papermate Flare, I highly recommend giving them a try. They're really great. I don't mean like an S-Gel pen from Sharpie. I mean like the felt tip Sharpie pen. They're magnificent. The point is probably thick if you really love a fine point pen. But if you don't, if you love like a 0.5 or something, this one's really very satisfying. So that is it for me this week. I'm just going to finish up with the last tiny bit of journaling, and that's it. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I really do appreciate it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment box below, and I will do my best to get back to you. Thank you so much, and make it a great day.